Okay, so I want to get all of these out of Maya into Unity, so we'll just go to my Unity scene. So this is the scene I had open previously, testing the scale. So let's just set up under assets, let's set up a new folder called Andy Assets, because you'll bring in a lot of standard assets that are provided by Unity and other external providers, so you want to make sure that you know where all your assets are. So let's just make a folder called Textures, let's make a folder called Models, let's make a folder called Scenes. So it has already given us a scenes folder, but let's just keep everything under my own subdirectory. Okay, so let's make a new scene, and then let's basically go back to Maya, and then so you can basically export these one at a time, or you can just export all of them and sort them in Unity. So let's go to FBX. So I've already done it here, but so just to look at your FBX settings, geometry fine, you want to turn off animation, you want to watch out that it doesn't try to take out the lights and the cameras, turn those off. Embed media never works, but it's worth a try. Okay, yeah, so export all 4 facades, yes. So all I'm going to do now is I'm just going to drag the 4 facades into Unity. So let me just have make sure you don't try and drag in the .mb, because it will try to convert this and it takes about 6 hours. So don't do that. Just drag in the FBX. Yep. So let's just put it in models. So we've got the 4 facades here. So let's drag that into the scene. And let's zero that out. So that's now at 0. So you see that we've got all of these together now. So what we want to do is we want to just take each of these one at a time and make these into prefabs. So let's call that 1. Let's call that 2. Let's call that 3. So what I'm doing is I'm just separating these out, taking them from the import and separating these out. So I'm not sure actually if I do that, okay, that's fine, yep. I'm just checking whether the pivot was in the correct place. Okay, so I've just put these, I just made a new folder called prefabs. I'm just renaming these in the scene, modular bottom left, and then modular bottom. Right, okay, so let's just get all of these and then let's just drag those into prefabs, or in fact let's get all of these and drag all of these into prefabs. Seems I can only do them one at a time, is that correct? Weird. Okay, so I'll just delete those out of the scene. So modular bottom left. So next up we want to just get our textures in. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to drag in all the textures. So I've just selected them in my folder, just drag them in. So what we've got here, these prefabs have got the UV mapping that we've applied in Maya. So what I'm just going to do is, so this is top left 1, so this is shot bottom left, so if I just simply drag that onto there, it's got the correct mapping as we have already provided for it in Maya. So if I go back, let's just get them all lined up. Modular top window, I'm just reading it down here. Modular top window 1, okay, I'll just put them in the order that I made them, well, in a manner of speaking. And then modular bottom left and modular bottom right. Okay, so Oh yeah, that's the one with the slightly inset door. Right, okay, so textures wise, let's have a look. So brick temp 1, brick temp 2, and the shop bottom right. Okay. Okay, so all I'm going to do here is I'm just going to, if I press V, that's vertex snap in Unity. So let's get both of these, Control D, and then you can check out the exciting modular nature of these. So holding V again, snap those together. So let's just move these other way around, in fact. So this is what I mean about modular. So now you see we can build a house basically. So let's put these at the bottom. So V, just get the top there. And make sure that is actually correct. And then V again, grab all the top there. Don't think that's correct. Okay, just holding V, I'm just snapping these vertices together. Okay, so there we go. And then I mean, realistically, you wouldn't ever do this in a game, but you can Control D that and then drag those along there. Obviously, this text at the bottom is too unique to repeat. Some nice advertising for the press green shop down the road. So this hasn't been done correctly, Andy. Bad Andy. Get hold of that, snap it onto there. Okay, so we've got a street of sorts. So I should point out that it's going to put these materials somewhere. So I'm not entirely sure what it's put these materials. It's put them here. Okay, so it's put, we've got two separate materials folders, which is a bit weird. So I think it might have previously made this when I was testing the FBXs before. But anyway, the thing we'll note here is that with your light on, this all looks very shiny. So we want to go up here to smoothness, turn that right down. You don't really get shiny bricks. The bottom floors here probably are a little bit shiny, but just for the purposes of this exercise, I'll turn the shininess right down. So there we have our street. Look at all those alarm boxes. It must be a high crime area. So next up I'm just going to drop in the standard character and we can run about in our level. Okay, so I just want to get all these in the vicinity of the world origin. So a quick way of doing this is to create an empty object, call it Street Master, and what I'm going to do is reset this to well, actually let's just get this to a position. So I'm just putting this empty object as at the origin point by pressing V, and then there we are. So that's the pivot point for this entire set of buildings. So what I'm going to do is Street Master, I'm going to take all of these, not the directional light, not for facades, just put them on the Street Master. And then if we've got the Street Master, we can then reset position. And that means that we've got all of our street kind of aligned to the world origin. I'm just using a parented object to snap everything to the origin instead of trying to individually snap all these components to the origin. Okay, so I'm just going to make a little street for our little character to stand on. So let's game object, 3D object, cube, thank you, yes. Let's not zero it out just yet. Let's scale that to something decent. Let's just do that, that and that. Let's squeeze it a bit. You don't want a 10-meter thick road. Maybe you do, I don't know. So let's just drag that along. So I'm just going to use V again. Get hold of the vertex there, snap it against there. So now we have a le street, as they say in French. Probably just extend it a little bit there, and then just move it along. So next up, you should have imported your standard assets. So I'll have given you these, but you basically grab hold of the package and drag it in, and then it'll unpack. Then what you'll have access to then, if I just close this up, is the standard assets folder down here, which is the Unity standard assets folder. So if we go to third person character prefabs, then we can drop in the character called Ethan. So let's just rotate him, and let's just drag him down the street a bit. So let's just put him at 90, just up here in the top right. Let's just put him at 90 so that we know he's aligned. And you'll note that we've done a pretty good job with the scale, because he's about the right scale for the doors. So we were correct in our estimations. So let's put him in the middle of the street. And then the other thing you'll have is, I've already dropped this in, but let's just delete that out. So the other thing you'll have under standard assets is caméras, as they say in France, and then let's put in the multi-purpose. So that's facing, we want to put a 90 in there. I just put 90 degrees in there to align him with Ethan, to align it with Ethan. And then we want to get an over-the-shoulder shot, really. So drag it down, drag it in. Well, actually, let's just angle it. So, well, I don't think I need to do that, because what I will do is, if you look at the camera here, it's got a target. So if we drag in the third person control to the target, yeah, and then we press play. Okay, so it's quite a long way away, which we can adjust somewhere down here, but for the purposes of this exercise. So now we have our Ethan character, and he's going to go and knock on this door, but he's fallen through it because there's no collision. Okay, is there collision on this? No, no collision. Okay, so there you go. There's the street, and there's our character in the street. You'll notice this weird lighting. We can do something about that later. But yeah. In fact, just to clean things up a little bit, let's just get all of this he says, not selecting any of it. Right, okay, so let's just get all this in the hierarchy, and then let's add a mesh. Not a mesh, we want a collider. Physics. Box collider. So I just added a box collider to all of these elements here. Also, this should help with the fact that if we go to the multi-purpose camera rig, and then we turn on protect camera from wall clip, and then we put maximize on player here, let's just see if this helps a little bit. Okay, so this has now got a collider on it, and the camera is now also avoiding the wall, so you will see a beautiful street. Okay, so there we are. Happy days, sort of.